Hello, listeners. I welcome you all to our new Industry Connect series. We aim to bring out real life stories of leading marketers and inspire budding students. Today, we have with us Mr. Sushant Dayal, who is an award winning marketer with over 13 plus years of experience in sales, trade marketing, and brand management. He is currently leading as a category head of nutrition in Amway. He's an alumna of the Indian Institute of Management, Lucknow, and Delhi College of Engineering. He loves to interact with students and budding professionals through guest lectures and via sharing content on LinkedIn. A very warm welcome, Shashank. We are extremely honored to have you with us. How are you doing today?
Yeah, hi, Trishla. Thank you so much for the invite. I am really excited today to be part of uh, this super program that I would want to be part of. So, thanks for the invite. I look forward to sharing my views and thoughts to everyone over here.
Thank you, Sushant. So, to give our audience a brief understanding about you, we wanted to know how does a typical day as a category head look like?
Yeah, so for a category head, a normal day typically starts at around say 9 a.m. in the morning, and obviously there are multiple meetings which are lined up with my team, with my cross-functional team. So as a category manager, you have to look at multiple brands and manage a lot of intricacies in terms of ensuring that you achieve a year's or a month's or a day's revenue and volume. So it's a very interesting day throughout with a lot of meetings. I take a time to do my self work as well, and obviously it's also about managing your professional and personal life. Specifically, if I talk about current stage where we are working virtually at home, so I think it's an opportunity wherein I have to balance both work and my personal life. Wherein I have a daughter who's 2 years old, right? So I have to manage her, feed her, feed my baby during I'm taking some meetings, make her sleep in the afternoon. So play with her while there are some calls where I can manage via doing using the Bluetooth earphone. So it's about balancing both professional and personal. And as a category manager, professionally, it's critical to build overall your team and ensuring that all the meetings and all the deliverables are executed. So I would say that's how my typical day nowadays goes.
So true, Shashank. I mean, while we all enjoy the work from home culture, we all understand that sometimes it becomes tough to manage both a professional and a personal life. That's there. So we noticed that you worked with brands before, and now you've moved to category. And we've been particularly taught that how brand differs from a category. So we wanted to understand: do the marketing strategies differ as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go to a little details on this in terms of if I talk and you're talking about the difference between category management and brand. First and foremost, I'll talk about what is a brand, and clearly it's a very tricky question. Like what is marketing, and as a brand, what I would like to talk about is I like to think of brands as trust marks that have a few specific associations for many consumers. And specifically, if I talk about a good brand, so a good brand has few specific associations for many consumers, and the sharper the association, and the more people who know the association, the stronger the brand. So, and I'll give you a simple example for that. You ask consumers to close their eyes and say what comes to mind when they think of a brand, for example, Lifebuoy, right? The chances are say it's soap, it's red in color, it helps in germ kill, it's rectangular, for via doctor, it has a strong smell. So all these are very strong associations with brand Lifebuoy. So consumers use brands as a shorthand to navigate an increasingly complex world. So other things being equal, consumers pay a significant premium for the simplicity in navigating that a good brand can bring. So, and for any brand to grow, it is I mean, there are three ways to grow a brand. One could be you increase the number of consumers or number of users, which is generally called penetration in marketing, right? The second way is you increase the frequency of usage from those consumers. And the third is increase the consumption per use. Okay. So typically, a brand manager, you are looking at these three parameters, how you can increase the growth for your brand. Now, if I talk about the difference between a brand and a category, so a simple example is Pepsi is a brand, while a soft drink is a category. And simply, if I talk about Pepsi and Mirinda, so at a basic level, they provide similar benefits, which is basically quenching your thirst. There are similarities in terms of what it does to the consumers, right? But a different brand interact differently with consumers. So Pepsi is more universal accepted brand, which is for youth, irreverent. However, Mirinda has different brand persona, and is relevant for probably women, kids would like it. On very few occasions, you will see a grown-up man considering Mirinda or ordering a Mirinda. However, buying a Thumbs Up or a Pepsi might be more relevant for him. So clearly, some of these products like a Pepsi, Thumbs Up, Dew, Mirinda, all of them put together make a category. And it's all about making choices with limited resources, right? As a category manager, you are managing these brands together. And if there is time, I can also explain a couple of points in terms of, how does a brand manager or a category manager look at brands? So you will have certain strategies to build it, right? So, for example, again, I'll give you an example. And there are always brands fighting amongst themselves, right? So, if you're handling two, for example, Pepsi and Mirinda, Pepsi is gaining share in cola subcategory, while Mirinda is losing share in orange subcategory. But if orange is growing category and cola is declining category, then despite of gaining share, you will lose the overall market share. While I am winning Pepsi but losing market share. So this is from a lens of say market share. However, if I talk about put a lens of profitability, cola, if it is profitable, much more profitable than orange, even if I lose share, I am improving on profitability. So as a category manager, I have to look at all these parameters, and it's all about choices with limited resources. So I hope I'm able to answer your question.
Yes, Sushant, with so much ease, you've been able to answer this question. I mean, we've all had so many doubts, but I guess some things one has to learn from beyond the classroom. I'm sure the audiences will better understand when they themselves enter the industry. And thank you so much for such, you explained everything with such ease, and the examples were so beautifully. It completely clears the difference between category management and brand. So moving forward, as marketing students, most of us aspire to become brand managers, but somehow we are a bit unclear. Like, what's the route to it? Should one start via sales, or is it we should start with management trainee in marketing? How should we go ahead with it?
I would say it is definitely dependent on individual. Depending on what aptitude is. But I can share a little bit about my journey, which probably many of you might be able to relate to, and then I'll give you the positives and the negatives of both the scenarios. So, from my journey, I would say I started off. I always wanted to be in marketing. From campus from now I got a wonderful opportunity with getting into Motorola as a management trainee, which was a marketing and tech company at that time. It was a great company, and as a management trainee, I got a lot of good experiences. I went to Hyderabad, I went to Jaipur for a sales stint, and management trainees are very well taken care of by organizations, right? So I was quite lucky from that perspective. But then in 2008, like right now, there's COVID which has come in. In 2008, there was recession and we were laid off. So not only the management trainees, the entire organization closed down. So right at the beginning of my career, there was a reality check. Post my Motorola layoff, I was looking for a job, And that was a time, I think, an opportunity came in, and so I had heard that you should always start off with sales. So I had two opportunities. One was with Aircel, based out of Bhubaneswar in marketing, and there was the other opportunity which was based out of Jalgaon, which is a state in, which is a district, in fact, in Maharashtra, which was in sales. So I thought, let me take up sales. I don't know much about marketing to start off, so let's start off with sales. So beginning of my career, and clearly I would say it was a great opportunity considering it was completely new. I was handling sales. So the basics of distribution, handling the rural territory, I learned a lot from there. And within a year, then I was moved to Nasik. I handled the Photon Plus launch. At that time, the data devices were coming in.
Yeah.
So I would say my evaluation, and you should use this framework, which is 3 L's of life. I consider that as level, location, and learning. So for any goal, for any job that you take up, always it from these three lenses. So if you get all the three together, that's the best case scenario. That you get level as well in the organization, you get location preference, and also learning. So if you get all three, for me, in this particular case where when I went to Tata Indicom in Jalgaon, I had to compromise on location, which was Jalgaon. But for me, the level and location was coming in from that particular role, right? So always when you move into your next role or next career or next move, always evaluate your role from that. Yeah, so that's about my management trainee stint and my first sales stint. Then I moved to Kanpur, after 1.5 years in Tata Indicom, that was Pepsi. I was handling sales in Kanpur. So this was a formative year, and I would say this was a turning point of my career as well, wherein in the 2 years, I did extremely well in my sales. We actually doubled our volumes in Kanpur. I got a ring of honor as well from Indra Nui. So that was a great of my stint. But then, why I would say for me, starting off with, and then after that, then I moved to. So this was 2 years stint, and then from 2013 onwards, since I did well, I got an opportunity. So I said I want to move to marketing. I want side of the business. So I moved to Gatorade, then did a trade marketing stint, then did another brand stint of managing Lipton, did Sting launch, then did an e-commerce role, and then I moved to Amway 1.5 years back. But since you've asked me the question about whether sales experience is important, I would say for me it was critical and it was important because there, you were working with your customers to improve your business. So you understood the importance of market visit. So that's one. The second thing that was critical for me was the sales team gave me a very good perspective of how things actually happen on the ground. So that's the second thing. The third thing I would say is working with salesmen, understanding the psychology of what your customer, what your consumer actually are thinking. And the fourth one, which is most critical, which was helpful for me, was the fact that after moving out as a fresh from MBA, you have to manage a team. And in fact, there are people in your team who are twice your age, right?
Yeah.
And so work hard to gain their respect, learn their motivation, understand them, building them as part of your team, and how to get the best out of them, right? So I would say it was one of the best leadership experiences of life while you are managing your team. So that would be my perspective. And I mean, obviously, it depends on individual. There are some brilliant people who understand realities, not even going to that field. So that depends on person to person. I hope I'm able to answer your question.
Yeah, so Shan, this was really, really helpful. It has given so much clarity. In fact, I personally myself will be joining sales. I was a bit apprehensive, but you wonderfully cleared our doubts, and I guess now we are all in a better position to decide how we want to move ahead with our career. So thanks a lot. So, Shant, when you recruit freshers for your team, and in fact, in my own batch, we have a lot of freshers. Are there any specific skills you look for because we aren't industry trained? So is there anything we can add to our profile so that it makes us a perfect profile for recruitment?
That's an interesting question, Vishla. I think from a recruiter perspective, I think the number thing I would see in any fresher to join my team would be the number one thing would be attitude and clear. And rest of the things I would say, which are the skill sets, can be worked upon, can be developed. But the attitude of enthusiasm, having a drive and willingness to learn, I think that is something I will be very, very interested in seeing any fresher who joins my team. And if I talk about the major skills, again, there's another framework I would want to introduce you guys is the JDI, which is judgment, drive, and influence. And in your career, you would need any of these individual things. So, for example, at the beginning of a career, you are judged by your drive, how driven you are, how proactive you are. In your middle management, which could be my level, which is a category head or category manager or a brand manager for that matter, there is influence important. Influence because you are doing a lot of collaboration, you are working with people, you need to get things done. And the final, when you become a CMO, you become CXOs, that is where judgment is important. Yeah. So understanding that at what career stage I should focus more, obviously you need all three of them, but then right at the beginning of the career, the drive is important. And as you progress in your career, keep in mind that you prioritize the respective skills. And other skills that are important, which can be developed, is your leadership skills, team skills, problem solving, ability to work under pressure, your confidence, your communication abilities. So all these are things which are important, but then these can be developed. Your attitude is something which is, I would say, the most important amongst these.
Thanks, Sushant. I mean, this framework is something that I think all of us will be keeping in mind, considering the fact that we'll be sitting for our placements this year. But wonderful thought, and I think I've learned so many new things, and this framework is something I'm sure it's going to be very close to my heart. I'm going to keep this in mind and not forget, and keep reminding myself that these are certain aspects that a recruiter looks for. Thanks for sharing this. And moving forward, so Sushant, while we were going through your profile, we noticed you've received various awards and accolades. So which one is the most memorable and the closest one to you?
So I would say the award that I'm proud of most is the recent one, which when I won the best marketing campaign for 2019, and also got a recognition in Economic Times, was for the launch the Ayurveda products in the Nutralite category. So when I joined the organization, the objective was that we wanted to grow both Nutralite and Amway to help our Amway direct sellers acquire new buyers and have a compelling value portfolio, which is differentiated and relevant for Indian consumers. And we wanted to increase the buyers for affordable entry into premium pricing. So our products are very premium priced. We wanted to also add entry premium pricing. And then we had invested in a huge factory. The capacity utilization was much lower. So introducing a product which could ensure that the capacity utilization is better, that was another objective. All these objectives were actually met, and we were targeting the audience for obviously people seeking natural herbal ingredients which are safe, people who care about the environment, people who are looking for bridging the gap for nutrition. So all these are people who were interested, and I would say the results were outstanding. I mean, we had brand gain growth and gain back momentum while the overall company was slowing down. This made the company grow, and we achieved 150%. There's a forecast that happens for the product, so we achieved 150 in terms of percent in terms of forecast, and we had some brilliant products for immunity. There was a product Tulsi, where one tablet had 100 Tulsi leaves in it. We had Ashwagandha. We had a digestive health, we had a brain health product, we had a diabetes product, we had a respiratory health product. So it was a brilliant portfolio. A lot of back-end work was there to bring this to life. So I was really lucky to launch this product, and we got an outstanding feedback from the consumers. They said the products were higher relevant. The ease for selling for Amway direct sellers was amazing, and the differentiation was huge versus competition. So one of the things that I'm really proud about, and the launch was outstanding. So that would be the thing which is closest to me.
That was really interesting to know. I'm sure it must have been a really proud moment for you. So,
Yeah.
Shashank, before we come to an end of this podcast, we have a small surprise for you. We'll play a quick
Okay.
rapid fire so that our audience gets to know you a little more better. We'll ask you 5 questions and you have to answer them really quickly.
Wow. Okay.
So,
This is surprise.
so shall we begin?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Swimming or cycling?
Cycling.
Favorite marketing
Doing that
author?
recently. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question.
Favorite marketing author?
I would say Acker, David Acker.
Okay. Brand versus category, your pick.
I would say category.
Okay. Which is your favorite book?
22 immutable laws of marketing.
Okay. Last question. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Okay. That's an interview question. So I would say enthusiasm, drive, and I would say trustworthy.
Thank you so much. And that's how we come to an end of this podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. It was great hosting you. Sushant, I'm sure our audience got great insights from this session. I'm myself taking back so many learnings, and I'm sure our audience is going to do it too. Thanks a lot. It was wonderful talking to you today.
Same here. Thank you so much. Thanks for the invite. It was a pleasure talking to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Sushant.